It's April 2nd, the year 2009, a beautiful Thursday afternoon here in Gokulam, Mysore, India. And again, I've retreated to my rooftop to read this exquisite book entitled Words of My Perfect Teacher by Patrul Rinpoche, again written in his lifetime in the 19th century and considered to be a classical book on the basic principles of Tibetan Buddhism. And really for myself it's just a profoundly exquisite book on the basics of spiritual life. Today I was reading a chapter entitled Arousing Bodhicitta, which is one of the most fundamental aspects of Buddhism. Bodhicitta is the sort of the foundation of developing love and kindness, love and compassion towards other beings, towards oneself. In many ways it's a corollary to the yamas and the niyamas in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra tradition. Basically in essence it's about the need, the importance for developing a proper view of the self, proper understanding of the nature of the self, proper understanding, a spiritual understanding of the nature of reality itself. Without this fundamental understanding, without this proper perspective, makes spiritual practice of any kind supremely difficult. So, on the surface, both with bodhicitta, developing bodhicitta, and with the yamas and the niyamas, it looks like, superficially speaking, it looks like a kind of code of behavior. But this is only the most superficial view. More in-depth understanding would be the cultivation of an understanding of the essence of the self and essence of reality itself. Probably the greatest source of suffering arises from the mind's divisive element, that is, seeing oneself as separate from the world, separate from other beings. And all the yamas and the niyamas, the developing of bodhicitta in the Buddhist tradition do is to begin to cultivate an understanding, a behavior that is consistent with the nature of the self, the nature of reality, which is that there is no division, that ultimately, in fact, the self is one, that reality is one, that there is no actual separation between the self and others, between the self and the world. That these kinds of divisions that we experience, that we perceive, are merely delusions of the mind, and this is really the source of suffering. So, let me read one element here. All the elements of the path are contained in the 6 transcendent perfections. Now, bodhicitta in the Buddhist understanding is comprised of these 6 transcendent perfections. Now, if you truly realize emptiness, you become free from attachment. As you feel no craving, grasping, or desire for anything within or without, you always have transcendent generosity. Being free from grasping and attachment, you are never defiled by negative actions, so you always have transcendent discipline. Without any concept of I and mine, you have no anger, so you always have transcendent patience. Your mind is made truly joyful by the realization of emptiness. You always have transcendent diligence. Being free from distraction, which comes from grasping at things as solid, you always have transcendent concentration. As you do not conceptualize anything whatsoever in terms of subject, object, and action, you always have transcendent wisdom.